The following podcast is a part of RadioMisfits.com.
All right, that's right. It is. It is time for week 7 of Practical Pics. Kelly's Practical Pics. Pugs and Kelly's Practical Bits. Kelly's Practical Pics. I'm Pugs. She's Kelly. And we've been doing this every week of this 2023 NFL football season. How are you, Kelly?
I'm fabulous today, Pugs.
Yeah, I'm all right, too. All right.
You don't sound all right.
It's just, my team sucks.
Yeah.
I
feel like I don't have a team anymore.
Well,
my brother Kevin jumped off the Bears. He's done.
Well, we should let people know who may not be familiar. You were born and raised in Chicago, so you're obviously a Bears fan, as am I. Then you moved to Dallas, and you started having sex with half the Cowboy team.
Or one.
Was it just one?
Yes.
So you kind of became a Cowboy fan. And you and I, we hosted shows on the Cowboys flagship. We did pregame shows. I mean, so we were kind of like, involved with the Cowboys. You moved to Corpus Christi. You didn't become like a Houston Texans fan?
No, our neighbors were though, so we would put the game on for them to watch. Come over to our house and watch. But no.
What about your son? Now you have a son who's a big time high school football coach in the great state of Texas. But while he was coming up, I know that he was originally a Bear fan. Did he ever become a Cowboy fan?
Nope, never did.
Never did. He spent his entire life in Texas high school football coach.
That's
never
right.
Became a Cowboys fan. Still a Bears fan?
Nope. Not so much. He's very disappointed in Justin Fields.
Yeah. Well, he shouldn't be.
He likes Notre Dame. He goes for that.
Yeah. All right. And you have no team that you really root for, as that's not a thing.
Notre Dame, but
it's not pro.
At some point, you get tired of being kicked. Yeah, I'm really rooting for you to win, but I know it's not going to happen.
Well, yeah, that. Look, we're a pro football show, but if we are mentioning college football, that is a difficult thing about being Notre Dame. It's a fan of Notre Dame. I cannot tell you how many times I've been kicked in the nuts in a bowl game the last 20 years. I mean, and it's never even like we were in it for 3.5 quarters. No, it's always like final score, LSU 65, Fighting Irish 7. It's always like that.
I know.
Excuse me.
So upsetting. Declan's like, well, next year it'll be better. And I'm like, how do you know? Because it's college. People just rotate in and out.
So, yeah. All right, what do you say we get started here? This is Kelly's Practical Picks. As we say, we are getting into week 7 of the NFL season. So let's talk a little bit about how she did in week 6. Kelly, last week, how do you feel like you did last week on your picks?
I feel like I did not do well.
You did okay. You did fine. You did 8-7. You were doing really well for a period of time. There was a period of time until you got to the 3:00 games, until we got to the late games on Sunday. You were dominating.
Yes. Oh, darn 3:00 games.
Yeah, and then the 3:00 games really kicked your ass. Actually, the 3:00 games didn't kick your ass, but the Sunday night and Monday night game kicked your ass. You did not need to take those two. So, but at the end of it all, it's not too bad. You went 8-7. Okay,
that's good.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go 10-5, but you went 8-7 instead. See, 10-5 would sound great, wouldn't it?
It would.
But then along came Sunday night football and Monday night football, and they kicked you right in the face.
Dang.
All right, so did you have any big upsets last week? I'm trying to, I don't think so. I would have made a note of that. All right, let's get started. Kelly picks her games not based on any sort of professional football acumen or expertise. No, Kelly, tell people how you pick these games.
It's which mascot can beat which mascot. And it depends on who's at home and what kind of weaponry they have. You have to take the whole picture in, and it's 11 versus 11. It's not like 1B versus, 10 Jaguars.
Now at that desk in front of you, you don't have individualized team injury reports and prognoses and roster update. None of that stuff, right? Nope.
I don't know who's good.
She doesn't. All right, so let's give an example. Let's get started. The first game of this week, Thursday night football, it is the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, now just for fun, I thought that I would include the price of beer and hot dogs in both stadiums.
Okay.
Just because beer at Jacksonville is $11.50 for a small beer, and a hot dog is $6.75. But if you go to the Saints, it's $11.50 for a beer, and the hot dog is the low price of $6.
$11.50.
Yeah,
$11.50 for a beer. The nerve of these people. The nerve of these people. Seriously.
I'm already there.
Oh my God. All right. Here you've got Cat, a Jaguar, taking on a Saint, which for me is, look, the Saints are always trouble. The Saints, honestly, it depends on the week for me, because the argument for the Saints is they've either got the ear of God or they're already dead. They've martyred themselves. They've already lost. That's how they became Saints. Saints are losers. Saints, that's really what Saints are. No, hey, you look at the historic biblical stories of Saints. They were all people who got captured. What does it Trump says?
I prefer my Saints not captured.
I prefer my Saints not captured. Right. So there's two ways to look at the Saints. Jaguars, just a big, scary, fast cat.
Mm-hmm. Playing against the Saints, who, as you just indicated, have risen. So it'd be up in the air.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Saints because I remember last week I looked into whether or not Saints killed people, and it turns out they did in wars.
Sure. Yeah, there are a lot of warrior Saints. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go. That's game one. Kelly is taking the Saints over the Jacksonville Jaguars there in New Orleans. Game two, let's get started. Noon o'clock. I don't know. Is this another one of these British games? Do we have British games? I don't know. Whatever. Falcons at Buccaneers. Bird versus Pirate.
Falcon versus Buccaneers. Yeah, and then they're mean pirates, though. But maybe not mean. You can't really seem to decide if they're like flippity flouncy, wearing their long flowing clothes.
Let me tell you something. Because you're describing the clothes, and I think this should influence you in your pick here. You're describing the clothes of the Buccaneer as portrayed on the helmet, even, right?
Yep.
Kelly, what kind of plumage do they have in those clothes?
Ooh, they have a lot of bird feathers, right?
Feathers. I mean, I think that ought to tell you right there. But one team is actually wearing the other team.
I would think that go away. I would think that would be influential. And the Buccaneers just, I mean, aside from the theme song to the Buccaneers, which is, by the way, hey, hey, Tampa Bay, the Bucs know how to shine. It seems like they'd be rough and tumble. So I have to go with the Buccaneers, but Falcons, I don't know. Are they the ones that kill people walking downstairs?
Falcons are badass, but they're birds. One falcon against a human man. I mean, what's the falcon gonna do? The human man is gonna rip the falcon in half, and the falcon's gonna what? Maybe poke the guy's eye out. He'll survive.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You know.
By the way, at Atlanta Stadium, beer is $5 and a hot dog is $2. And
wait! How much is a beer in Atlanta?
$5.
Oh man, God bless those people down there. That's wonderful.
As opposed to Tampa Bay, where a beer is $11.50 and a hot dog is $7. $7 for a hot dog. $7? Really?
I gotta get a look at a $5 beer from that stadium, because is it in a Dixie cup? You know, that sounds like $5 beers, and then they're just little Dixie cups.
They were all just described as small beers, and I got it off the beer website, so I assume that they would even it out.
All right, next game, the Las Vegas Raiders. We're dealing with pirate types again. The Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Chicago into the Bears den. Who do you like, Raider versus Bear?
Yeah, I mean, Bears are usually tough. I'm not really sure about Chicago Bears being really tough. And I consider Raiders to be really tough because their helmet's scarier. It's more intimidating. And I would think that if they went in there, do they have knives and guns?
Raiders don't have knives. They have swords. They're, they have a
Oh,
I don't even know if they have a sword. They have a knife, and I think it's in their teeth.
I thought that was the Buccaneers.
No, I think
I don't care where they keep it. It's still a knife.
Raiders. Yeah, I think it's the Raiders that have it. Hold on. Nah, just never mind. It's better we don't know. It's more fun when we're stupid.
I gotta go with the Raiders on this one because it's a sword or a knife. I think that would kill a bear, but I'm not sure. Something has to. They don't just like live forever.
Here's what I would say. This is what I would say about this particular situation. The Raiders in the Bears' den. Something's happened to that Raider. That Raider has been drug in there. That Raider has broken its leg. So I don't know. That's just, I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, how did that get there? Yeah, they had to travel a while to get to Chicago. And the weather's not even bad in Chicago right now, so I don't think weather would be an issue.
Humans don't hang out in Bears' den of their own accord.
There's
there.
someone there. Okay. Yeah.
Who are you taking?
I'm still going to go with the Raider because swords scare me.
There you go. All right, the next game, let's go with the Cleveland Browns taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis baby horses.
Yeah. By the way, Brown Stadium, $6.50 a beer, $6.50 a hot dog. But Denver, it's $8 a beer, $5.75 for a hot dog. Kind of even.
It's not bad. I appreciate Cleveland keeping it working class. I mean, that's still a ridiculous amount for one beer, $6.50. A beer should be $2. Come on, who are we kidding? It should be $2 max.
No kidding.
So this is Brownie, the Magic Elf. That's who their logo is. Brownie, the Magic Elf, taking on a baby horse who can barely even walk. Probably can't see yet.
I'm sure it doesn't know how to defend itself from magic. I don't even know if you can. It doesn't seem like that would be something that you could do. Otherwise, it wouldn't be magic.
Yeah.
Well, I got to go with the Browns.
Of course you do. You are never going to pick the baby newborn horses.
I would over Arizona Cardinals. I could see them going toe-to-toe with them.
Sure, maybe a seagull or a Seahawk. Excuse me. That's right. Butch Seagulls. All right, let's see. Brownies and Colts, we've got that one covered. Let's move on to the Commanders, the Washington, D.C. Commanders in New York City taking on the New York Football Giants.
In Washington, you can get a beer for $14 and a hot dog for $6. They're gouging you down there. And a beer at Giants is $11, and a hot dog is, get this, $16 for a hot dog in New York.
Hold on, wait a second. First of all, let's deal with Washington, D.C., because I want to do a little rant there. Do you know who the people who go to those games in Washington, D.C. are? Really poor people from the inner city, and everyone else is super connected and really wealthy. So how much was beer at D.C. in Washington?
$14.
$14 for one beer. Okay, not a problem for all the rich. And when I say connected, it's like, oh, yeah, Pugs like it's just nothing but senators. No, it's not. But it's attorneys who have senators on speed dial because they're friends, and it's lobbyists who have it's all
exactly. Yeah.
So but the other half of Washington D.C. is poor people. It's a very poor city. It is not like a thriving middle class there. So that sucks. Poor people can't get drunk at a Commanders game. All right, what about New York? Wait, what's the New York one? What's the prices there?
Hot dog is $16, folks. And a small beer is $11. They might be the only one with the hot dog more expensive than the beer.
Wait a second. That can't be true. A beer in New York is $11?
Yeah.
All right, think about that. Would you have bet that a beer at a Jacksonville Jaguars game was more expensive than a beer at a what?
Well, wait.
No,
did I go over there?
No. Listen. Would you have believed that a beer at a Jacksonville Jaguar games, which is $11.50, would be more expensive than a beer at a New York Giants game?
No, probably not.
Never. I would have thought New York was like, if one place was gonna be $15, I'm like New York. But no, that's crazy that it's cheaper than Jacksonville. Wow.
The hot dog price hike is crazy because don't they sell them on the street?
Yeah, it's stupid.
As I recall, they do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, big hot dog town there. Yeah. All right, who you like, DC, the Commanders, or the Giants?
It's a Giant, and they're at home. They can totally dominate. So I got to go with a Giant because the Commander, I don't know. I'm not. I know some. Honestly, they skip out on work a lot. Just saying from experience.
I
They
mean,
often don't go.
what are we talking about too? Like, what kind of commander are we talking about? A guy who was, an enlisted guy, a war hero, worked his way up through competence, and just really, or is this like the son of a senator who went to West Point? What kind of commander? Because not all commanders are there because they're like truly deserving of leading men. Some of them just have important daddies. So what are we dealing with?
An officer. Once you get to commander, you find the officers, and oh my god, the officers. Sheesh. That is a cushy job. They have like bonfire Fridays where they cook out on base, and I'm like, don't you have work to do? Aren't I paying you money? But I'm not going to be that person.
Peacetime, little lady. Peacetime. This is what we do.
It's not really peacetime.
All right, so you went with Giants here. Let's try and get the
Giant home.
Next game, classic. We get these every week. Cat versus Bird. This is the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Raven. Cat versus Bird.
And look at the Lions keeping the beer real with $5 for a beer. Hot dog
Hey, really?
$5 seems totally reasonable to me.
$5 seems really reasonable. Yeah, that's totally fine. I'm totally good with that. Good for Detroit.
Yep, and the Ravens have $6.50 for a beer and $3.25 for a hot dog. I appreciate that because kids are going to want hot dogs. So keep it low.
Fun. That is not terrible. That is good for them. Good for them. All right, who do you like, the Lions or the Ravens?
Well, it's a lion. And the Ravens, they're I don't think the lion is going to be fooled by the nevermore Raven. I don't think
I care. It's just going to eat it. It's going to be it.
Whenever I've seen lions, and that's pretty much just been in Disney World, they're just laying on rocks. They're not even doing anything. So I don't see them being enthralled by the raven. I don't know if they even eat birds. I would guess no.
This is cat. No, they eat whatever they want. How about that? If it's in front of them. All right, here you go. Now, here's the next game. We're gonna go. This is a fun one. Bills at Pats. Now, let me ask you to indulge me a little exercise here, because this is how I looked at this game. Okay, this is the Bills, the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. So this is the Bills at the Pats. Think of like your toughest and scariest person named Bill, and then think of the toughest and scariest person named Pat. And who do you think would win in that fight?
The only person I know at this moment named Bill is Bill F. So
she's taking the Pats.
He's a comedian, so I don't know how tough he is, but so I'm not sure that I would back him in a comedy, like, kind of battle, I guess. But fighting.
Well, you use whatever, you employ any tools you need, but that's just how I looked at this game.
I gotta go with the Patriots because, well, they have weapons. They're wearing heavy clothing that would probably shield from some of the pain that a Bill could instill on them. I don't know what kind of pain that would be, though, because I'm not sure what kind of weapons they have. I'm not sure if they have guns or not. But
Minutemen, they got muskets.
Yeah, so we go with Patriots on that. They gotta win something, right? Are they winning anything?
Look, from what I understand about what we did to the Buffalo and all that, when the Patriots weren't fighting the British, they were just killing Buffalo. Wasn't this place lousy with Buffalo? Weren't they just clearing everything out to get rid of the Buffalo? I thought that was the deal.
Yeah, so I gotta go with the Patriots. I don't know that I've picked them very often.
No, you haven't. And let me just stop right here and point out, this will be Kelly's upset pick to click of the week. She is taking the Patriots over the Bills, and she may be the only person on the planet doing this. What? This is the upset. This is the upset special. There you go. All right, next game. Cards at Seahawks. A couple of birds fighting.
Cardinals, you can get a $6.50 for a beer at their stadium, $4.75 for a hot dog. That seems reasonable to me. It's no $5, but it's okay.
Like if you just went to a football game and everything was $5, fine. That's fine. Baked potato, $5, beer, $5, Coke, $5, fine. But once you start getting into the 11, get up.
I know. This just doesn't seem right. Come on. It's tough times we're living in right now. Can't shell out $16 for a hot dog. Are you kidding me?
And then we always get to see those people up in the skyboxes, the suites. Oh, that's just a giant everything, and they've got the cocktails. And isn't this fun? Meanwhile,
it's like a cocktail and caviar with the egg.
Meanwhile, Dad's got to rob a liquor store on his way home just to make sure that kids can see a real football game. All right, go ahead. Cards at sea, a couple of dumb birds. Now I hate the NFL. Go ahead.
Wow.
I know.
I'm going to choose the Cardinals because I have not strong, great, positive feelings towards the Seahawks. They just seem like scavenger birds. They don't seem like they're what use are they providing? How do they help society?
Nah.
They still
bread. Hey, that's why we have so little breadcrumbs in supermarket parking lots. Yeah. They're always in supermarket parking lots. They should be called Seahawks. They should be called Kroger Hawks, or
That's true. I got to go with the Cardinals because I've seen Seahawks poop on people, and that just isn't very nice.
No.
It happens at the beach a lot. That's why I hate it when people go down with a loaf of bread to the beach and they throw it out because isn't it fun? 100 freaking seagulls are coming after us. No, it isn't. It's a mess.
And thank you for saying that, because we always need to point this out when we talk about the Seattle Seahawks. There's no such thing as a Seahawk. These are seagulls. We all know what seagulls are. They're the white birds. Again, go to a Target parking lot. They're flying around. Those are seagulls. They just called them Seahawks. They're the only people in the world to call them Seahawks. They started calling them Seahawks because they wanted to sound tougher as a football game. Seagulls versus a cardinal. A couple of stupid birds.
Great. Yeah, so we'll go with the Cardinal. At least they don't keep on people on purpose.
I don't.
You don't feel good about that?
Nah, but that's all right. Whatever. We got to roll the dice and just go with it, because this is magic. This is magic that's happening here. All right, next game. What is the next game? Steelers at the Los Angeles Rams. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Pittsburgh Steelers, Union Steelworkers, and Rams, just angry goats.
And the Union Steelworkers are used to working with steel, correct? Like those hot torch things that they mold into shapes of stuff. So that seems hard. You got to be like pretty strong and be able to do that. I wouldn't want that job. That's all I'm saying.
The question is, can a badass guy who works in a steel mill kill a goat if he had to? If he was out in the wild, or not a goat, a ram. If he was out in the wild and it was just him and a ram, Can
he bring some steel with him? Because if he brings some steel, he could use the steel to attack the ram.
Well, he can have something, like a hammer. He could be in his work clothes, sure. He can have some tools.
Oh, man, that would be rough. I got to go with the Steeler on that one then.
All right, there you go. Go with Steelers? Steelers?
Yep, Steelers.
She goes with the Steelers. Let's go to the second team in Los Angeles. Most of my life, Los Angeles had no football teams. Now they're lousy with them. Here are the Chargers taking on the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. Chargers at Chiefs.
Lightning bolts versus Indian Chiefs or Native American Chiefs. Are they Native American Chiefs? That doesn't sound right. Maybe you just call them Chiefs?
Chiefs. They're Chiefs.
All right. They're the head guy in charge.
Yeah.
They're the ones. I think that they distribute advice. Most of what I know about Chiefs would be from, what's that Kevin Costner movie? Where
Dances with Wolves.
Yes.
Right.
That's mostly what I know from Chiefs. They see, well, they weren't mean to him, but
they're supposed to be the reasonable ones. They're supposed to be, they're the statesmen. They're the guys in charge. They're the bosses. They're, they're not the warlords. So they smoke the peace pipe with you and hammer out the agreements. Chiefs are supposed to be chill, but also leaders of men. So don't sleep on Chiefs. Chiefs are the most important dude for a reason.
And I would say normally I fear lightning bolt. However, aren't there rain dances and stuff?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I'm like, I've seen like bad art of Indian chiefs with lightning, and I'm like, I don't think that lightning killed him. I think he conjured it.
Yeah, that's right. He used it for his own benefit.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll go with the Chiefs.
Thank you. Okay, we need a win. And I think that might be
good.
That's
$8.50 for a beer, by the way.
Where?
At the Chiefs. 11 for Chargers. Which
Yeah,
is
Los Angeles. They don't give a crap about nobody.
it's almost a good deal.
Chargers, yeah, or Kansas City. That's not bad. Oh, what was the price?
Paying $6 a gallon for gas in LA.
What?
My daughter's paying $6 a gallon gas.
Hey, go back. I need to know, what is the price of beer in Chicago? We
haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, we did.
We did? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Las Vegas.
It was actually not bad because I thought for sure, they would gouge you.
I'm thinking $8.50. That's $8.59 feels right for Soldier Field.
I think that you're pretty close on that one. What did I do with my pages? $11 for a beer.
Oh, well, I ain't been there in 3 years, so
Yeah.
$11 for a beer. They've crossed the
$7.50 for a hot dog.
Oh,
but now the two cities known for hot dogs have really high prices for hot dogs.
Oh yeah, see,
seems like it would be cheaper.
No, because they're known for it. That means there's demand. That means there's something special about it. Therefore, you can sell conflict-free hot dogs at a markup. This came from the neighborhood where there aren't gang shootings. It's Chicago conflict-free hot dogs.
Do they each have their own different kind of hot dog, or are they all like Oscar Mayer?
Well, okay. Interesting. Oh, look at you. This is very interesting. And I happen to know a little something about this because I watched a thing on like A&E about the history of hot dogs. Okay, so they're basically the Oscar Mayer hot dog that everybody knows in the ballpark, Frank. That's like a nationalized version of it's a generic hot dog. That is not the actual hot dogs that make the cities that are hot dog famous, like Detroit and New York and Chicago. Those are the big hot dog cities. Mm-hmm. Those hot dogs are all different. Like Chicago has the Vienna beef hot dog, which is, like they're go crazy about. Then they got like the Coney style dogs there in Detroit, which is like really big there, which is weird because you think it's Coney Island, but no, that's Detroit. And then New York has like Detroit is famous. Wait, yeah, is it Nathan's in Detroit?
No, in New York.
Or is it Nathan's in New York? Okay, whatever it is. Yeah, because they do the 4th of July thing. So they're all like variations of like a Jewish sausage, but they're all flavored slightly differently. And then when hot dogs became famous in Nebraska, there was no leaning towards the Chicago style or the New York style. So they made a generic hot dog, which became Oscar Mayer, and basically now the ballpark Frank. And that's what everybody thinks hot dogs taste like. So when you go and get a real hot dog in a place like a New York deli, you're like, this tastes weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has flavor.
Yeah, it has spices and, Nobody needed my lecture on hot dogs, but.
I think it's funny that you'll make fun of me and my music choices, but you watched a whole documentary on hot dogs.
I know. I'm broken. I am broken. All right, so where are we at? We're Packers at Broncos. The Green Bay Packers at the Broncos. I wish you had a price of beer for Lambeau Stadium, do you? Lambeau Field?
$9.50.
That's a shame. That's a shame up there. That's them trying to be fancy. That's them hillbillies up there in Green Bay trying to be fancy by charging outrageous amounts for beer.
Yeah, I've been there. There's not much to do in Green Bay. Just drinking and going to pizza places.
If they don't go into the game but stay at the tavern across the street, they can probably drink 75-cent taps from the draw. So,
probably.
But they're going to go across the street and they're going to spend 11. And those people drink.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yes, I was a little bit hard in my ramp up to talking about people from Green Bay because I'm a Bears fan. I do love Wisconsin. I do love Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. They don't love us though. They don't love Chicago. No. That is not reciprocated.
No.
So a guy working at a paper packing plant versus a bronco, a bucking horse.
Again, a union paper packer.
Right? Who had to go to Bronco Town.
Versus a crazy horse. And I say crazy horse because he cannot be broken. That's the whole point of a bronco. They're like, they can't be tamed.
Yep. So you got to go with the bucking bronco. Because
is the guy from Wisconsin going to try and ride him? That could be bad.
That may not go well. I'm going to have to go with the bucking bronco. Those things look tough. Then again, the last Bronco I might have seen might have been on Little House on the Prairie. I don't see them very often either. Just odd. Because in Texas, aren't we supposed to be seeing a lot of horses?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't see many horses here in Texas. I know. In fact, can't remember the last time I saw a horse.
No, it's probably been about 5 years.
You know when I see horses, look, here's the real thing about living. Here's a little thing. Truth about living in Texas. The only time I see horses in cowboy hats are when the Cowboys are playing on national TV and the national television network wants to show, hey, this is what Texas is. Nobody here with cowboy hats.
Movies. Whenever they're like showing Texas in movies, everybody's on a horse with a hat. Yeah, I know, me too.
I hate that about Chicago too. It's like, hey, we're doing a national game from Soldier Field. Show fat people eating pizza. It's like,
not cool.
It's so not cool to remind us. Right? Show something cool. Jenny McCarthy from there. Show pretty people from Chicago. It's always, it's always guys like me. All right. Packers and Broncos. Who are you going with? You went with the Broncos. That's right. Because here's how I look at this. This is a guy from Wisconsin who's got a nice union job, probably divorced. He's got an apartment, drinks a little too much. He's found himself like in the great Southwest. For what reason, I don't know, but he's not from there. He's not dressed appropriately.
No,
and he's in one of these canyons where these wild Broncos exist still.
That's right.
What's he doing there? He doesn't belong there.
No, he does not. Is there altitude there? There's altitude there, right? Is that ever an issue?
No, I think that's the lowland desert. I think we're talking about altitude's not an issue. But he's probably wearing like, chukka boots and blue jeans in the middle of Death Valley. What I'm doing here. All right, I'm with you. Packers are going to lose to the Broncos. Here's a good one. This is fun. This one is fun because I've got a very strong opinion on this one, and I hope you consider it. Dolphins taking on the Eagles on Sunday Night Football.
Well, the Dolphins are out of the water, though, because they're in Eagle territory, which is what, Philadelphia? Is Philadelphia near water? It's been a long time since I've taken.
No, it's not. It doesn't matter what the team, where they're from. They're in a nest. Where are eagles at home? Eagles are at home in a nest. This is a fish in a tree. Shit ain't going well for this fish.
No. And we learned that eagles eat fish. I don't know that they eat dolphins, but they eat fish. So I don't know. I have to go with the Eagles.
Got to.
They're home. They seem tough. I think I did not pick them last week. I don't know if they won. So
the Eagles?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did. I don't know what they did. They're good. They're really good. They're probably going to win the Super Bowl. So you're fine picking the Eagles. Just go with it. Go with the Eagles. Dolphins are also really good though, which is scary. This is actually my favorite game of the week. This is a big game that fights a Sunday Night Football game.
Nice.
But just going with what we know here. I mean, again, it's like home field advantage really plays a part. The Eagles are at home in an eagle's nest. That's where they live. If a dolphin is in an eagle's nest, that means it's already being eaten. It's
not good.
This is a no-brainer for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, she's taking the Eagles. Now, let's go. Monday Night Football. This is the last game of the week. Kelly, the 49ers taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
49ers got to get to Minnesota. But they're used to walking because didn't they walk all the way to California, essentially, so that they can pan for gold?
And then they ride the wagons.
I probably had to walk around a bit. I imagine them doing a lot of walking, and they're standing in the water, panning for gold and stuff. That just sounds like a nightmare to me, too.
Wait. Let me just, because this might be a fun bunny hole for us to fall into. So do you think like the Western expansion, when people went from like Ohio to California, do you think they walked?
Well, I know that they took horses and wagons, but I'm sure some horses died along the way and they had to start walking.
Well, they go with like hundreds and hundreds. That's why wagons, there's always backups. They didn't walk. That's funny. I guess I see what you're saying, because I've seen depictions in movies of the westward expansion. There's always seems to be like some guy just casually walking along the, the state. There's like a stagecoach. And how you doing? And he's always walking. And you might think that he walked for 3,000 miles, but he didn't. He just walked in. The camera caught him. All right.
Probably took a lot of breaks. It's fine. He got there.
49er dude got out to the West Coast to pan for gold. He heard about it up there in them there hills. He's out there. But that doesn't matter because he's in Minnesota. Well, he may have gone through Minnesota on his way out to the West Coast.
Yeah. But the Vikings are tough. I don't know if they are in football, but in real life, they were tough. However, they did go extinct, right? They don't still have Vikings, do they?
No, they got Vikings. Well, okay. There are still people.
Last Vikings killed.
No, but they're like the Vikings civilized. They became civilized. So what they used to be, but yeah, there are still like, a lot of Norwegians, proudly claim Viking, I have Viking heritage and Viking blood and all that. And if you go to Ireland, Dublin is like the last great Viking capital. It's all Viking there. So there's,
Can't drink it away?
No, no, they just got cool. They just became Sweden.
I gotta go with the Vikings. I don't know, because even going by that logic, with the fact that they just kind of evolved, but instincts never really leave you. So I would think that you've still got some of that fighting spirit in you you pass down.
This one sucks for you because I know I'm with you. There is no way that a dude who was panning for gold in 1849 could take a Viking. A Viking would kill that man instantly, lop his head off, hold it up to the sun,
twice about it.
They'd give a battle cry, right, and then throw it down the mountain. No way. Vikings were barbarians. Dudes who were paying for gold were opportunists. There's a little bit different. They're different people. But man, the Vikings are gonna get killed. That's the only thing that bothers me about this. I know I'm with you. You got to take the Vikings based on this criteria.
I have to. Well, I have to go with the Vikings.
All right, there she goes. She's taking the Vikings in that one. Let's run through Kelly's picks one more time. Wait, was it week 7? Is that week 7 picks? Is that where we are?
Okay.
All right. Kelly is taking the Saints over the Jaguars, the Bucks over the Falcons, the Raiders over the Bears, the Browns over the Colts, the Giants over the Commanders, the Lions over the Ravens, the Pats over the Bills, the Cards over the Seahawks, the Steelers over the Rams, the Chiefs over the Chargers, the Broncos over the Packers, the Eagles over the Finns, and sadly, the Vikings over the 49ers. But get out.
Maybe they'll have a really good game. Maybe somebody will, be sick from the 49ers.
Hold on. What was your upset pick of the week? What was that one?
Oh, the one that you told me that was not going to work.
Yeah.
49ers. You didn't like that one.
No, that could be. But you had one earlier. You had an upset pick of the week earlier.
Not Raiders versus Brown, Falcons, Bucks.
Pat's Bills. It was Pat's Bills. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you got 2 upset picks this week. You got 2 big, go out on a limb, put your balls on the line, upset picks of the week. Kelly is taking the New England Patriots at home over the Buffalo Bills, and she's also taking the Minnesota Vikings at home over the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, there you have it. That's what week is this? Well, that's week 7 of Kelly's Practical Picks. I'm Pug. She's Kelly. We'll see you next week here on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. Wave goodbye. There you go. Bye, everybody.